like it.
No, I like a good can,
like
but
it.
It's like I wanna when we're headlining, I want to hear me in the monitor because when I don't hear me in the monitor, I push way too hard, and I'm way too loud. I overcompensate. I think no one can hear me in the room, and it's just a disaster.
See, when I can hear myself, I feel like I'm too.
Annoying.
Yeah, I hate hearing
So
my
now
voice.
you know what the crowd feels
But-
like, folks. We'll be right back after these.
Message from our sponsors, Blue Chew. Use our promo code.
BLU JEW Blue Chew. Are we recording?
we are, yeah.
That was a good rip.
All right, so that's a good way to bring us in. Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode of View from the Cheap Seats. Randy is on his way here. It's interesting because we're kind of in a bit of a downtime for sports. I say that now as my team has been eliminated from the NHL playoffs and also the NBA playoffs. Of the Celtics and Golden State are in it again. It's weird because Randy and I always talk about, everyone's like, the playoffs, it's the best time ever for all sports. The beginning of the playoffs is the best time ever for all sports. The first weekend of the NCAA tournament is great for all sports. When you get to the finals, it's like, who is it and why do you care? And then we head into the dog days of summer with baseball being there. Randy just showed up.
Oh my God.
What we're doing today and why it's different is that we are out on a golf course. We are playing golf with maybe our favorite golf social media guys, or podcasters and whatnot.
High praise.
Country club adjacent golf. If you're not on this tip and you don't follow, even if you don't like golf, I would just go ahead and start following those guys on social media. That's a good.
I was trying to
dip your
explain
toe
it to
into
our
the water.
buddy Dave Nickel, who produces our the new UFC show that we're going to do. I'm like, imagine if like Jeff Ross, just like the roast battle, came to a country club.
It came to the tee box.
No, my original idea was like my fantasy was because on there's the tournament Waste Management, which is a party, right?
It's hole number
And-
16.
Hole
am I
16
right?
on waste management.
Yeah, and then like
Phoenix.
the idea of like Jeff Ross being out there on a practice round and
Amazing.
roasting people, and then he didn't answer my DMs, so that is why we started Country
we can
Club.
get we can get Jeff Ross to you. By
I
the way,
wish Jeff Ross
would
played
join.
golf.
He should join you guys for a back off the tee. But that was Jake Adams, by the way. Mark, what's your last name, Mark?
Mark Smalls.
Mark Smalls. He's
And
no
I'm-
small.
I'm just high
man.
off Jeff Ross being in Jake's fantasy.
Yeah,
I think you might just be high. Period.
Can I just say,
you
I didn't
played
realize this was so. I mean, I have an electric car, you fucking assholes. I had to like drive all the way up here. I'm like, I don't want to say we're far north, but I feel I just saw like out at a water hazard someone refilling their fish wheel. Are they like filming season 16 of Alone up here? We're in Alaska, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
Mostly meth.
Very follow.
It's the only place you guys can get a tea time. We're like, we're going north. We're going Jay, didn't you get married 8,000 miles south of here?
Yeah,
In Santa Barbara?
I don't want to say we're far up north in California, but we're near Humboldt County.
Yeah. I just saw giant redwoods on 3.
So they've brought us out, these guys, to play a round. This is going to be content for them and content for us. Randy and I are going to play in a scramble tournament against Mark and Jake. These guys are great at golf. They're also very
Can we
funny.
just in the world of golf, can we just talk about, I don't know how much you're up on it. Like,
See
Do
how
we-
he looked at me when he
do
said
we
that?
think are we surprised at how far Phil Mickelson must have been just the biggest dick ever for the longest period of time, for him to just make a couple of weird comments and then completely fall off. Like everybody was waiting for this so much so that
They're like,
I mean,
please fuck up,
like
bro.
Fuzzy Zeller was like, I'm going to make some racist comments about
And I'll
Tiger Woods.
still hang around.
And I'll
Well-
still hang around. Like Phil Mickelson is like, I don't know, the PGA should maybe be better to its players, and like suddenly he's like gone.
Yeah, so working with like a lot of these like pros more recently, we've got to hear like the behind the scenes story.
What is it?
And he almost has like, I love Chevy Chase, but you know how Chevy Chase
Sure.
gets that bad rap, of,
Yeah.
like the bad rep, and
Oh yeah,
Deserved. too.
hated,
Yeah.
hated. We know people who worked
Exactly.
on Community, and they're like, this guy's the worst.
yeah. So that is that's pretty much the consensus from everybody on tour.
Isn't it crazy though that his image outward towards everybody is that he's the nicest guy,
Oh, yeah.
lefty. He's so sweet.
And then his nickname is Lefty, but he couldn't be more right wing.
That's right.
Isn't that
I mean, you
weird?
have a private jet sponsorship, and then your sponsors also like a bank.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
When your bank sponsor leaves you.
Yeah.
When your bank is like, we can't launder your money anymore.
Yeah, their god is money.
He's like, you cross them up. Phil Mickelson is season 5 of Ozark. I'm like, what the? Why does Phil Mickelson own a
You
river?
want to stop me? You're gonna have to kill me.
Why does Phil Mickelson suddenly own a riverboat casino? No, it is. I mean,
No, there's definitely like that
right?
Breaking Bad
People can't stand him.
underground lab under his house that is just doing something
like
dirty,
he's
you
like
know?
his wife had cancer, and he's like, I'll take the moments when she's getting chemo to cheat on her. You know what I mean? You're like, he's that sort of a guy. So Phil Mickelson or Patrick Reed, who's more hated?
Wow.
I think behind the scenes, Phil Mickelson.
More hated than Patrick
I've
Reed?
never heard really anything bad like coming from Patrick Reed, and especially when people meet him, he couldn't be the sweetest guy.
But
I've
like
ever
he
heard.
just got to talk to his family.
Everyone cheats. though.
Talk to his-
Everyone cheats.
Everyone cheats.
Everyone cheats.
You're looking at a guy who wanted to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Hey man, you get a little.
Everyone
you get a-
cheats at golf or cheats on their spouses. What are you
Both.
saying? Both?
in the golf world, both.
Both?
100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
nobody.
But,
Like,
like, also
you see
why?
someone like kissing their fiance, and I'm like, enjoy this for a while it lasts,
Yeah.
because you know the next level.
That's why you only see the rookies when their fiance just runs out so
yeah,
excited.
she's so
'Cause
pumped.
they haven't been through anything.
And then later, it's like,
But that's just a dig on all men. It's like I think PGA Tour players have the hottest wives.
they're
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
yeah,
hockey
because
players.
they're.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know, but like a hockey player, you're like, your husband is not going to be able to walk in like 15 years.
He's not gonna have his teeth. Like,
But like Ricky Fowler's going to be a good-looking dude forever. You know, like Jay and I met Arnold Palmer. We literally met Arnold Palmer at the Tavern on the Green. We were doing cheap seats in New York, and we were there shooting. No, we were it was for a benefit that like Bon Jovi was there and Arnold Palmer was there. Arnold Palmer there early. We're there early. We're hanging with Bob Costas, just talking. Arnold Palmer walks in, and we're like, "What do you think he orders to drink?" He gets
do
a
it?
lemonade iced tea.
No,
Yeah, he
he
did.
did.
And so
Yes, he
he
did.
so
Did
he's
he
there.
drop a name drop?
He was there.
I think he ordered he's like, can I get a lemonade iced tea? And we're like, we
Oh.
know what it is.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
from
8
feet away. And I actually think that should be a Tiger Woods.
It should, based
Yeah.
on
based
yes.
on race.
Yeah.
So it should be called that. But I mean, when you think of
You don't think it'd be like a green tea?
matcha,
no.
matcha. But look, I mean,
Black tea?
is Tiger done? Is Tiger finished? There's no way.
I think
can.
that if he just allows himself to sink down confidence and just just use a cart, then he can play with the best of them.
So
and
Casey
John Daly
Martin
uses a
his
part.
way to this thing.
John Daly just doesn't have the ego, right? I feel like Tiger definitely.
John
still
Daly
has
is
that.
going to have a heart attack in a major. Am I right? Like, that's how he wants to go out. Like, just literally swing, heart attack, fall
Down.
forward, and you're like, down goes Santa.
Yeah.
Either
Right?
that or he
Pretty
just
legendary.
outlives every. I mean, the man
Right.
had cancer for 20 years, and he still like doesn't
Smoking.
Yeah,
He's still
smoking,
smoking.
Diet Cokes, drinking. He had 20 packs of peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
Like that's how you do it.
That is how you do
That's
it.
just how
It's
you
like
do
that Simpsons episode where like the Mr. Burns goes to the doctor and they're like, "Don't change anything. All of your bad shit is like going through a doorway and it's stuck." That's
Yeah.
what it is for. That's what it is for.
But you
John
ever,
Daly.
I watch him swing. I've watched his
His swing is so good. I've watched. Damn it, his swing is
It's
so good.
so
Daily swing?
Yeah, oh my
smooth.
God.
It's
Yeah.
so he doesn't swing that hard. You see other guys and you're like, wow, that guy's working hard. Daly just puts.
I think
fast
people like
into it.
Daly because it's like in the 80s, you guys are too young, but like in the 80s, like the Atlanta Braves had pitchers that were just so, they're like, are you on a beer league softball team? I don't
Are you my
understand.
plumber?
Like, how can you be a professional athlete? And they're just big enough to move their body in ways that, like the fat athlete. And I think like John Daly reminds people, they're like, oh, I'm as fat as John Daly. Yeah, but then the argument would be Lumpy Heron would be the same guy, and he just doesn't have the magnetism, right? He that is a shape that just you don't see in sports. Like professional athlete, Lumpy Heron with his shirt off.
Same thing with like Patrick Reed. Like everyone
Yeah.
gives him shit with fat, but when you see these guys in person, they're not as big as
No,
you think.
Patrick Reed is not. He's just like a bigger dude.
Yeah,
He kind of reminds me of like
John Daly has abs.
yeah,
he does.
It's just on camera.
yeah. They're
Yeah, some people have a six pack. He's got a party ball. He's got a party ball up in there. Who's your favorite player on tour right now? Like with the guy you like, if you see on the leaderboard, you're like, I want this guy to win.
Probably
we all
Will
do that.
Zalatoris right now.
You like that dude?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's.
Boy, he's
So
fat.
close.
He's fat.
You know something's going on because you can't have that bad of a putting stroke that early on in your career without like some childhood trauma, and you feel for him that way. And
He
also,
was hit with
It's like a
he was
Howard
hit with
Stern.
Howard Stern. Whenever a stripper comes on, his first thing is like, "Which uncle touched you?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "That was the best on like Adam Carolla on Loveline." Someone would call and be like, and they'd be like, "Hey, you're on Loveline," and they take a
Hello,
second.
my name is Susan,
And he's like, "Who touched you? Who touched you?
Immediately, because of the baby voice.
Who
Because of
touched
the
you?
baby voice.
Who touched you? You are caught in a level of Arrested Development at age 9.
Yeah, he does have a molesting ass stroke.
he does, dude.
Yeah.
It's so loopy.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
is he? He's
So
amazing.
he's so young, and does he need to add some weight or no? Like, are we okay
He
with
probably
who he is?
will. You know,
over time.
thick out a
Over
little
time he
bit.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get on that Tiger, that HGH program.
You think so?
Yeah, but like golf fans don't have a lot to attach on to as far as their players because their
Yeah.
personalities don't really show that often.
Right.
But like this guy looks like Happy Gilmore's caddy,
Yeah.
and I feel like people just love him for that.
They
Yes.
do. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I
So
agree. I
He's
like
won
him.
me over.
I like him.
I was a big fan of Duffner, but he's not really been.
Duffner,
Yeah.
the Duffner face was my favorite meme
Just
ever. It
so
was
good.
Duffner sitting down against a
Oh,
wall.
so
You know what I'm
good.
talking
By
about?
the
By
way,
the way, his wife is so beautiful.
Dude, they're all
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
you'd be hard pressed to find a bad looking wife.
Duffner sounds like
he's
Spalding from
he's
Caddyshack.
That's right.
And then he became great. Like if Spalding won the tournament, like that's Duffner, and that's like it just changing the narrative of what you think. Yeah, where did he go? He's like not around anymore. I mean, is he still?
He just stopped playing that good. I think
Yeah.
he's still playing. He's still got his card. He just
What-
you know, golfers take 5-year, 10-year hiatuses and then come back.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but you know we watch the tournaments on the weekends and we catch up on these guys a little bit. But what's like a middle of the pack guy? I don't want to say like. I mean, Zalatoris is kind of heading towards the top of the pack, but what is a middle of the pack
like a Matty
PGA?
Kuchar.
Yeah, what does he make?
Well, Matt Kuchar's won a bunch of times. He's Matt
good.
Kuchar's tens of millions of dollars
Right.
that he keeps for himself and not gives to his caddy.
Hey,
I don't
come
know
on.
if you guys
Does he do
remember
that?
that moment.
Oh, really? He didn't pay his caddy yet.
Yeah, he like hired this guy in Mexico, and it like wasn't his actual caddy. It was just a Mexican caddy.
Oh, he picked up a worker at Home Depot
Yeah.
just to carry the bag.
Yeah, and like so every caddy, very standard, gets 10%.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Is that what it
Kuchar-
is, 10?
Yeah, Kuchar won that week.
Gave him
and
7.
Gave his
I give him
caddy
40
like
bucks.
so. Kuchar,
A Rolex.
Kuchar won 1.2 million and gave his caddy like 5 or 10 grand when it should be 120 grand.
Yeah.
Would have changed this guy's life.
Yeah.
Like, he
20
could have
grand.
taken 3 days off of the Home Depot.
And that's
And then when he was
120
confronted
grand.
about it, he was just like gave a real shit answer, like, "Oh, well, that's what we agreed upon." But it was just like, dude,
no
it's-
one Wait, who was the golfer who a few years ago, I'm sure you remember the story, got like beat up? Like, who was that guy? You remember that story? That was like a crazy story. He got beat up and then he blamed his caddy, and there was like a whole.
oh, really?
Yeah, there was like a weird.
Oh.
He was in Hawaii or something, and it all went down.
Remember that.
So-
What does Ricky Fowler make? I mean,
He makes a ton because of endorsements.
Yeah.
No,
He's making most of his money off
Rocket
endorsements
Mortgage.
right now, but like, you know, he's made tens of millions just off golf in the beginning of his career.
I mean, our buddy Matt Every, he's won a couple. He won Bay Hill twice, but
Mhm.
other than that, pretty middle of the pack as far as like maybe even like bottom of the pack. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's had to fight to keep his card like year after year, and
he makes like what,
he's
like
rich.
$500,000 a year.
Dude, he made like didn't do anything and made like a good like 400 or 500 grand.
I mean,
So if you, because you figure if you make the cut, you're probably going to make at least like $10,000-$20,000
More than
More than that. Yeah,
30,
for most
40
tournaments.
for the tournament.
I think if you come in last place and you make the cut, it's probably like 30 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's a major, then you're looking more of like 80 to 90.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put that into perspective, okay? Guy makes the cut, gets through, makes his, there's every week there's a tournament. Every
Mhm.
week there's a PGA tournament, and if you're on the PGA tour, there's a chance, and you make the cut pretty regularly to make 30 grand a couple times a month. Say you make 2 cuts a month,
Yeah.
30 grand.
That's
One
what
of
you
them
gotta do.
to make 50, 60, 70 grand a month. Now you're in a bracket where you're living a comfortable life. I mean, what do we need?
Yeah,
in
but
this
to
goddamn
put that
world?
into perspective, I haven't made one of those in a year.
There you go. That's all going to change. Well, you haven't made the cut in life yet. No, you're on your way,
I'm still
though.
fighting. I'm still trying to grab that. I'm on the Hooters tour. I'm still fighting to get that card.
Oh, God.
Is it so? Does golf need to change to include more? Is that kind of the direction you guys are going in terms?
I feel like it's the void or the vacuum you guys have filled. And I actually love it, like I've seen in your videos, when someone walks by you guys at a tournament and is like, Country Club adjacent, awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's
Like,
always fun.
That's a great moment because
really is.
it reminds me that, like, oh, you guys are kind of coming up in this space where you do appreciate the game and you do have reverence for the game.
but the tent needs to expand a little bit.
Sure, and we're very cognizant of the fact that like we are still at the end of the day 4 white dudes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we're like, oh, we want to change the game, but we don't want to fall into that like easy narrative like we're trying to change the game. But yeah, if you are adding to that and trying to be more inclusive, that is changing the game at the end of the day.
If you're finding humor, that's the start. And you're opening up and saying, hey, we've created a way to look at golf that's not the same way that they look at golf. That's not the way that Brandel Chambly looks at golf.
Yeah, that guy's the worst.
Brandel Chambly sounds like every wedding cocktail. Are we have enough Brandel Chambly for the guests? Bring it on out. It's served. Actually,
It's a little flat.
It's served. It's served warm.
It's
The
warm.
Brandel Chambly
It's
is
the only
always
white.
served-
It's the only white that's served warm and flat. Brandel Chambly.
A
warm.
little crisp. Can we dull this out a
Can
little
we
bit?
dull them out a
Just
little bit?
crack it open and leave it open
Yeah.
for 2 hours and sit it out on the windowsill in the sun. All right.
Just let it sit for a while. What's your guys' favorite tournament of the year? Is it the TPC down in or the Waste Management Open? I'm sorry.
I mean, I love the Open. I'm a night owl, so like to be able to like do some shows, come back 1, 2 in the morning, and then like fire up some golf.
Yeah.
The Open is like the best, and I think that style of golf, that link style, is just like it's so fun to watch.
You're talking about the British Open.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Open.
The Open.
Technical term is called
The Open. Right. I know.
So,
but for fans who may not know,
Yes,
I'm just
the British
filling that in.
Open.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
not
I
the
just
U.S. Open.
because you have to play it's not just about getting up there with your driver and bombing it as hard as you can. Although in this Justin Thomas's shot on the I don't know what hole it was in the playoff hole where he hits the driver and hits the green
Yeah.
I put that up with like Corey Pavin's 5-wood years and years
Love
and years
me some
ago.
Or
Corey
Colin
Pavin.
Morikawa at the U.S. Open.
Yep. Or no, a PGA Championship.
PGA Championship,
Yeah,
sorry,
Harding Park.
in San Francisco.
Mhm.
Yeah. What's your favorite tournament of the year?
I mean, the Open's up there. You know, it's just always so cool to like see golf played different on a different landscape like that.
Yeah.
And the coverage is like so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they get like Sky Sports and
The European coverage is
it's
just
Oh,
fantastic.
it's so much better.
It's
Yeah.
50 times better. It's insane how good it is compared to our.
You don't like
golf
Jim
coverage.
Nance?
Listen, I love me some.
You don't
Jim
like
Nance.
someone inserting themselves into the broadcast a little bit more than everything else?
I don't mind. I don't mind
You-
Brandel Chambly. I'm gonna be honest. I love a good guy that's like hard line. This is
how
who
it
I am.
is. Yeah.
Right.
this is
I
how
like
it
it.
is.
This is
I
what
like that.
So yeah, but the British coverage is just
It's-
fantastic.
yeah,
it's
it's-
fantastic.
It's the best.
Isn't it amazing how like good the British Ryder Cup or the European Ryder Cup team is like versus the it's
Yeah.
like the
I mean, that-
American League versus the National League in the All-Star game every year. Like you're not going to beat them. You're just not going to beat. So
Yeah.
when we do beat them, it's like a miracle.
Yeah. I mean, those are the most fun tournaments to watch, the match play ones,
Yeah.
right?
I would love to go to one of those.
Yeah.
for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Where's the next one? Do you guys know?
Well, this is a President's Cup year.
So we
and I
play-
think it's here because
We play
last time
all
was
of
in
Europe.
like Australia.
Or
You guys
all of
gotta be
America.
there.
Or all of
all the world.
Yeah.
The world versus America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is the world is just not as good as the UK
yeah.
No.
they're-
somehow.
Somehow. No sense.
Because we win in the President's Cup.
We do win in the President's
Yeah,
Cup.
we
all
won the
time.
Ryder Cup this past.
I know we did win the
Yeah.
Ryder Cup and blasted them like
Yeah,
in a record.
because people didn't know about
Landslide.
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Scotty
What
Scheffler.
happened?
So the fact that Scotty Scheffler moves his back foot so much on his shot.
So I actually think that Scotty Scheffler is too big to be called a Scotty, and Xander Schauffele should have the Scotty moniker.
Okay.
I think it should be Scotty Schauffele and Xander Scheffler.
Yeah,
Scheffler, like because
That's such an interesting.
Scheffler and Schauffele
come
should
from, by the way.
because I look at Scotty
Scheffler and
Scheffler, I'm like,
Schauffele-
you're too big to be a Scotty, and
Yeah,
I
you're
look at
Xander.
and then I look at Xander Schauffele, and Xander Schauffele is too small. Like, to me, by the way, Xander Schauffele's like 5'11", so he's taller than us. But like, you look at him and you're like, the way he walks and how short his arms are.
He's like little Scotty Schauffele.
You're like little Scotty Schauffele.
What is little Scotty Schauffele doing?
Little Scotty
Is
Schauffele.
he on the tour?
He just won the Olympics.
What?
Little
Yeah.
Scotty Schauffele. But then Xander Scheffler is like, he's a big dude. You're like, he's 6'4".
It's too weird.
Scotty, too weird of a moniker for me. All right, so here's the deal. I don't want to cut this too short because we can talk golf forever with you guys. We're going to get out there, and we're going to play a scramble. We're going to play 9 holes. It's going to be Randy and myself against Mark and Jake.
Mhm.
Going to give us a couple strokes
Oh
because
my
our
God.
handicaps are
Yeah, let's
so
quickly talk about strokes here before we get out.
Oh, God.
You're is what collectively like probably 15 average
Yeah.
handicap.
probably.
Is that
15.
fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
So Mark's like a 10 or 11. I tell people I'm a 3, but I'm more of like a
6,
higher than that.
7.
And so
7,
I think,
feel like is 7 is as good as you can be without like screwing up the rest of your life. Without it just
Jake
come.
is a solid 7.
Yeah, I mean, you're-
ass 2.
Right.
Jake has been claiming he's a 2 handicap
Mhm.
ever since I met him.
Mhm.
Never seen it once.
What
Never
is-
seen
I'm
it
trying
once.
because
to-
you bring out the best of me, Mark.
I know we're not a good duo.
By the way,
you have a great
bragging,
shot. Me and Jake are not a good duo, by the way.
bragging about your golf handicap will never, and I repeat this to the camera, will never, ever, ever get you a date. No, or laid. Or
Period.
laid.
Yeah.
Ever. It just won't. All right, so you're going to give us a couple strokes.
I think we'll give you 4 strokes.
That's a
like
lot
that.
for 9 holes.
It's a
You wanna
lot in
cut
a
it half?
scramble.
Do you want to cut that in half? It's only 9 holes.
How about we give you a stroke on every par 5,
Let's take a stroke on every par
and
5.
then we'll on the number on
On the hardest par 4
No
in the
strokes on
in
the par 3s.
No,
Yeah.
not on the par 3s, and you'll give us one on each of the par 5s because I think
Yeah.
those 2
Yeah.
par 5s,
Yeah.
and then one on the hardest par 4 in the front
Sweet.
9.
yeah.
Okay, so it's 3 strokes, split the diff. We'll do our best. By the way, I love that this golf course as well. You have to like pass by a bunch of migrant workers so you can feel bad. So usually my golf game is great when I'm feeling tons of guilt that we're actually out here.
Well,
playing.
Yeah,
Good
this is
white
so
So
our version.
thank you for like driving by the cabbage fields to get here. All right, so we'll do that, and then we'll pick this podcast back up on the other side after the tournament. We'll do a quick recap. This is like this. So Jay and I did a podcast when we drove up for the playoff game. The Cardinals, our team, St. Louis Cardinals
Yeah.
versus the Giants. We had 2 friends, Dave Anthony and Gar Ryness, the batting stance guy, who you guys would.
Oh, I've
love.
seen I've seen him through
He's
you guys.
the
That's
best,
fucking
the
incredible.
best, the best.
Yeah.
He can do anybody's batting stance ever, and I'm sure there's like a golf person who can do anyone's swing and like
Yeah.
pretty. Like,
Yeah.
So he can do
There
everybody's batting stance. He's brilliant. So we went up to San Francisco to watch the Cardinals play the Giants, and the Cardinals choked it away. Actually, their pitcher they went down 4-0 in the first inning, came all the way back and tied it, took it to the 10th, and then lost on a throwing error. So we drove up to San Francisco
with all this hope in our hearts.
in the podcast we did on the way up, and then we drove back down and recorded after. The
Oh,
game.
yeah.
The misery and darkness
These
that spilled out of us. So
fucking-
I hope they
Yeah.
die a terrible death. I hope the plane crash.
All
We're
right.
we were so
morose.
dark and dumb. So we are filled with hope right now. I just want you to understand that.
I'm taking all of
Take
it.
this in, and then just
It is
listen.
your job to suck the hope out of
Right,
us.
and when we come
Jake
back,
will do that.
Oh no, when we come back, we're gonna like
do that.
deeply go into how bad
We got
play.
GoPros on the carts. We got camera that's going to
Oh, yeah.
cover what we do. That'll give you guys some content. And
Same with us. Can't wait. Love you guys. Country Club Adjacent. Follow them on Twitter. Not on Twitter, on Instagram and on TikTok. Are you guys
follow them on
And
Friends.
and YouTube, where
Twitter
this
too.
video will live ultimately.
Friendster.
The full 9-hole match.
You guys are on Friendster. You guys are on
Okay,
Match.com.
Cupid.
MySpace.
OkCupid,
Okay,
all that
Cupid.
stuff.
J-Date.
J-Date. Jake's a 1 handicap on OkCupid, which is weird. Hasn't
He's a
helped.
12 on J-Date.
You always got to go the other way. My handicap is so high they let me park in a blue parking space there at the post. All right, guys. We're going to do this. We're going to play with these guys. I can't wait, and we'll see you guys on the other. What a fun episode.
I love it.
You from the cheap seats.
Thank
Don't go
you, guys.
anywhere.
Jake is the bottom, and I'm the top right now. Not good. Not a good position for me.
All right, they're legit. They're legit. We're fucked. You never know what we're capable.
You never know. You don't know what we're capable of.
I'm going just right. I think we're just gonna go ahead and concede this hole.
No way!
Oh wow. Has he done it?
I never do anything under pressure well.
2, 3,
There you
4,
have it.
5.
All
All right.
right.
Recording.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We just got
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. What happened out there? Oh, yeah.
Ninth hole.
Oh,
So let's describe
What
the match a little bit.
disaster.
So the
Should we
arc
make
of
the
this-
guys?
Let's describe.
God.
So we walk out onto the first hole, and I get clowned for how much shit is in my pants pockets.
You're wearing very comfortable, beltless, Sansa belt, public
pants
rec pants.
that at once are both accentuating my gut and trying to cover it up.
It's doing everything at once, and he's got so much stuff in his pockets. It's like
it's a joke. It doesn't
the-
seem right. Like it seems like I've moved out of my house and
It's like
everything's in my pants.
it's like your pants became a diaper bag. You know what I mean? There's Cheerios in there from like 6 months
yeah, it's
ago.
like a snack trap. I'm like, what the?
Your
How did this
vehicle
Lunchable get in
registration.
here?
There's a Lunchable. Yeah,
You don't
Lunchables.
even make those anymore.
Golf balls. There's like a bowling bag in one pocket. I mean, there's so much stuff in there.
So much stuff, and so I get clowned for it. And throughout the whole day, Randy and I started off winning.
Also, the color of the pants. It's like a beautiful baby shit brown.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think you called it depression green.
depression green. I said,
I picked these.
crazy.
I
pants.
Because
can't
they-
wake up in the morning gabardine.
Like they look like sweatpants texture wise,
Right.
but they have
Uh,
the utility of
of a nice pant.
yeah.
They're-
They're great pants. I have a pair of them too. I
They're
love them.
they're a I'm overwhelmed by my to-do list khaki.
Did you, when you bought the pants, did you test out the pocket strength beforehand?
No, and so they came. They were a sponsor of our podcast.
You had wallet in there. You had phone in there. You had 2 balls. Tees.
And we're not talking Ridge wallet. We're talking old man dad
Old,
wallet.
thick. Like I'm gonna
wallet.
give
Yeah.
you
You're
sciatica
talking, you're
wallet.
talking a billfold.
Yeah.
is what we're
Yeah.
talking
No,
about.
So we come out there and we have no business being out there in this match.
These guys give us
All right,
2
don't
strokes.
don't undersell.
Don't undersell
Don't
what happened.
undersell you guys this much.
You guys
Now
didn't
you're
miss a
just-
fairway.
Yeah, make
We-
me
The entire
feel
day.
bad.
Our drives were nice. Let's
Jay, your drives were fantastic, but you guys, Jake, you crushed the shit out of it, and
Mark almost drove a green.
Mark almost
drove a
it.
green. We
Yep.
hit some good approach shots. The bottom line is, it ended up being like an both entertaining and competitive match.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 holes where we got strokes. We couldn't capitalize. We only capitalized on one
One
of
of
the
them.
3.
Yeah.
2.5 too, right?
Yeah, we tied.
Yeah, but then one of the stroke holes I think we conceded
Yeah, that's
because
true.
we couldn't find our ball.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
Yeah.
so we got one, and I think Randy and I, our attitude was like, just don't get blown out, right? I mean,
Right.
And
I
we
was like,
also
make it respectable.
We hate being on the same team with each other because we are as hard on each other as we are on ourselves.
Right? It's like you'll definitely get it. Like people will not play basketball with us because like if we're on the same team, it's like people are just like, you got to stop. You have to stop.
This is not fun for us, and we're playing against
Like I
you.
remember when we were in high school playing baseball, and I'd be pitching in Jason's center field, and I'm throwing, and I'm like just not throwing strikes. He's
Like,
yelling
throw
at me
strikes, bitch,
until parents on the other team are
and a
like,
kid on second base
like,
was like, leave him
stop it.
alone. He's doing his best. Like, this guy just got onto second, and he's like, just give him a chance to throw some strikes. I'm like,
Yeah.
who
just
are you, my
let him
therapist?
breathe anyway. So like
And
that.
then he's like, what are you, a Jew? Get out of here, kike. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, God damn. And
St. Louis.
the hinterlands of St. Louis.
So we come out of we got 3 holes to play, right?
Mhm.
And
3 holes to place, and it's straight
All
up golf.
square.
on
Straight up
these.
golf, 3 holes.
No strokes given. Straight
now,
up
what
golf.
was in your mind, Jake? Were you like, we got this by 1 or 2?
I mean, I kind of switched into coast mode. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I don't think they're going to par all 3 of these holes. And
That's the opposite of Marshawn Lynch. when he was
Every
playing foot. That's Marshawn Lynch today. He's in coast mode instead of
Yeah.
beast mode.
I mean, every single approach shot on you guys are the best shots of the day.
Yeah. Oh, you had
You know?
you had some great.
Yeah, so I actually stepped up my approach shot game, which included off the tee on 8, which
Yeah.
put me on the green with a chance to putt for really to take the lead, which I and of course we missed
Both of
it.
us missed,
And
but
you guys came off
just off the green, but you made it close enough. It was great. It's just good. It was good golf.
It
And we
was
got down-
exciting golf. It reminded me of like not pro golf, but like semi-pro golf, like the golf that Kevin Costner thinks he knows how to play.
Very entertaining, watchable golf level.
Totally
wise.
watchable golf.
So we get to the
Any worse than it could be a problem. But the level we played today, very,
No pro- it
very
was
watchable.
very
like
watchable.
we'd be the funny guys at a pro-am. Like we should be at a pro-am.
You guys should
all of it. All of us.
100%.
So on the final hole that we played, the 9th hole,
We all tee off. So Mark tees off, or Randy tees off first.
I hit it
looks
way
at
left. I hit it so far left. What did I say?
Brush back Rachel Maddow.
Actually, Lawrence O'Donnell.
All right,
It's a difference.
it went right by Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room and came further left than that, and then came back down.
and it literally it scraped Ari Melber's knees.
Okay, so then
Made Anderson Cooper's hair a little more white.
It just whitened his hair, just the tips.
then I went up and I got it clean. I didn't feel like I hit it that hard, but
Nice drive, but it just
great
rolled.
drive.
Great toss in.
all the way up in front of the creek. One of my best drives of the day. Then Mark sliced, hit
Jay-
it. You got all of it.
Yeah, farther than you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
then
it
Jay-
just went to the right.
Not,
didn't
not
travel
leave
as
that
far.
out.
Yeah, let's not
leave
forget
that
about
Put
that.
that in
I
there.
did slice, but still ended up farther.
Right, and then Jake
Hit a three-iron.
Three iron.
That almost outdrove you.
Almost outdrove me. Like there was a question of who was closer, and he
And
was.
he
a three.
didn't even hit it good.
No, you
It was
kind
a
of chunked the
chunky
back.
three-iron.
Yeah.
But if you would have hit it,
You know, just had
more.
to-
No, but anymore, and
Anywhere
that thing
up
goes
there
down in the creek. So
gives you a wedge in.
Right,
You know, it's
so
fine. We
it was
all got
beautiful.
wedges in.
yeah, I almost don't want to be like inside of 70 because that's
Mhm.
like tricky for me.
Shank
so
zone.
Jay
Shank zone.
hit. So Jay then hits the chip on.
I hit a wedge from about 100 and
Just a gorgeous
Five.
shot.
gorgeous shot up and on.
Very upsetting.
it was almost upsetting to me because
Then I hit mine just on the edge of the creek.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yours was a beautiful draw, like a 3-yard draw, perfect distance too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was like, where did this come from?
top
Yeah,
of the
pin
hole with
high.
it was real pin high, just a little bit above the hole.
Yeah.
And then you guys put one just off the rough
Mm-hmm.
of the back, and
and
Yeah,
now
had
and
a
now
putt.
we're putting for
all of us putting.
all the marbles.
Mm-hmm.
Mark putts. He literally goes at it, but it goes past.
Just past the hole. I
Jake?
mean, there was a chance if that's an inch to the right, it catches hole, maybe gets
Hits
the
that
pin,
flag
and
stick,
yeah,
comes back.
stays.
But
Jake-
it went 12 feet. past.
Jake caught something on the ridge heading out.
Yeah.
So then it was up to us. Jay puts his.
I put mine short by about 8 inches, and it did curl back to the left. So Randy,
so now
I gave
it's
Randy the
down
read.
to me.
What's going through your mind into this putt? You know, like
Just put it close enough that we can tie. But I was like, I think I know what I'm doing here because I just watched his putt. I was like, but there's no.
Was there any like kick in of like stand up, like the feeling you have? Because I liken it to when you have to make a putt under pressure or play while people are watching to like a TV set.
I was
Like
definitely
a
the most.
late night Conan.
I
set.
never bet playing golf. We just don't do it. I hate to bet on all that
Mhm.
stuff. So like to actually have something on the line during golf, we never do it.
because
right.
you're dressed like you have a gambling problem.
I'm dressed like I have a secret separate family, which I never understood that secret separate family. Really, you want to go to 6 back to school nights? I get it, like a mistress, but second.
No sex is worth having to talk to your second secret son's friend's dumb dad about CrossFit.
That's right. It's not worth it. No hand job is worth going and flushing 8 goldfish down a
All
toilet.
right, so
Mhm.
so Randy, you do look like you have 3 FanDuel accounts. All right, so
I've got a burner FanDuel account
Yeah, a phone for just his draft.
just for my drafting.
DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm in 3 fantasy leagues that no one knows about.
someone at DraftKings knows you as Rico.
Yeah, you're dressed as if you call yourself a head coach because
That's right.
you have a
Like if
fantasy sports
DraftKings
team.
had a casino, they'd comp you a room.
You know the undercover agents who tried to bust the porn ring in Florida in the 1970s who went so deep undercover that they couldn't come back? That could be me right now.
Oh.
That's you in FanDuel.
So
You're thinking
Yeah,
like
much like a Donnie Brasco.
that's
but
right.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
like-
want to give you that much
I'm like
credit.
Donnie Crisco.
and Jake looks like Bonnie Brasco. Bonnie Drasco? Okay. Just talking about his hair, the poof of his hair.
Bubby Brasco. So I was like, I got to put this out there just maybe a cup and a half and give a little bit of pace because Jay's was close enough that we could put it in. And I literally let it go, and I'm like, I think this is going in. It definitely felt like this is a shot that's going in, and it just curled around perfectly and dropped.
It starts to drop, and I've watched both of my children being born. I watched Michigan beat Ohio State this past year. The joy I felt knowing that we had just beaten you.
And
guys.
the only thing that was left to do is I'm literally running around the green. By the way, there are people on the tee
Waiting who are kind of
who
annoyed
don't know
all
what
day.
the hell we're doing and just watch me
because they don't recognize any of us.
Like I ran around the green so much, Justin Leonard told me to stop.
Randy ran
He was
around
like, show some decorum.
Randy ran around the putting green like he had just seen up close magic at a mall.
That's my favorite thing. Like people see up close, they see a car truck and they just start running.
Start running. So
start-
Randy's running around.
And of course, Jason just
I, as a show of the ultimate show of disrespect because I had been clowned about these damn pockets all day.
He empties his pockets.
Start emptying my pockets.
I mean, there are like
just tossing.
Oh, there are
everything in his
things.
pocket. Yard
AirPods.
sale.
There's a Jenny Craig recharge bar. In
There's
there.
like
There's a bowl of ramen.
There's a
family
bowl of ramen.
heirlooms. There are things you're trying to pass on to your children
Yeah.
that are coming out of there.
I think I passed a kidney stone. Whatever came
so
out
many
of me.
things came out, and on the it was just littered. The green was just littered.
But it was a metaphor for what
Looked
I
like
was feeling.
16 at waste management.
It
Just
really
from your
did.
pockets.
just straight out from
All of
the
it
pockets
spilled
and-
out, and it was a victory for us. And we felt like not to we didn't want to rub your noses in it, but that's
You guys
exactly
were-
what we did.
No, I
You-
mean, like I watched both my grandparents die, and this definitely felt worse.
This is worse.
and you could have done something about both your grandparents dying, but you're like, I need a reference point for
Even
other
your-
bad things in my life.
Even your grandfather had less stuff in his pockets. Jason.
I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry for your loss today. But that was really a treat and a
Dude,
joy.
so
Yeah.
much fun. And it's why we love sports
It's
in
such a good
general.
game.
Why it's why golf is such a great game, and
and why these guys make golf, which is fun, but they make it really fun. So I'm going to say this to all of our fans who listen to our podcast, and your fans already know. Get on board with Country Club Adjacent.
Thank you,
Start
boys.
start by following their social media, and
Mhm.
you'll immediately love it. Then go ahead and subscribe to
if
their
you want to
podcast.
see this, like what happened during the day, they actually took video of the whole thing, and so they're
they'll
going to
put
cut
it
it
all
together on their
together.
YouTube page.
Next
Country
Friday.
Club.
Friday from I don't know when this is going to come out, but this will be out.
This will be out.
This
This
will be out
Friday.
this Friday.
Okay, so
in
the
a
following
week.
week, yeah.
And they'll probably put some clips of this up on their social media when they have it. We'll
Yep.
we'll collab post on
yeah.
that stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just a really, really great day, and it reminds me why I love playing sports and why, as people who don't get to do it the way we did when we were in high school and we played on teams and stuff like that. It was just a pure joy. It was a real moment. There was real drama in it, right?
A lot of fun.
Unbelievable
much
how
fun.
you guys played down the stretch.
Yeah,
Right?
It was upsetting.
So
It was upsetting.
unexpected.
It felt like Y.E. Yang catching Tiger Woods. You're like,
Don't do it.
I'm like, these guys may never be the same
Nah,
again.
nah.
Yeah.
Me and Jake have never won a match.
So trash.
Yeah,
We're
you
literally
guys-
0-15.
You guys made sure to minimize
Yeah,
our
truth-
feelings of joy.
Truth be
after
told,
this.
Jake was like, I'm bringing Mark so you guys have a shot.
and you did.
And we
You
did.
had more than a shot.
Dude, you guys
you
were
guys played great, and you were great sportsmen. and
It's
it was
literally the
fun.
beauty of the game right here. So
I feel closer to you guys after that.
I
So
do.
fun.
I do. And
We had a great time.
strangely, I feel farther away from Jason, but that's a whole other thing. I think he needs to put me in his pocket for a while.
I do. All right, when we come back, this is View from the Cheap Seats. Thank you guys for joining us. When we come back, there'll be a special voicemail, and don't go anywhere.